Anthony Hope.
I'm Mickey Bradshaw Volante and I'm playing Joanna.
I'm Jett Pangan and I play Sweeney Todd.
I'm Lea Salonga, I play Mrs. Lovett.
I'm Andrew Fernando, I'm playing Judge Turpin.
I'm Eva Castro, I play the beggar woman.
I'm Nyoy Volante, I play Adolfo Pirelli, the king of the Barber, for Barber and King Señor Madrid.
Of course!
Alright, and now we are opening the floor to any questions. So just please raise your hand from where you are and we will attend to them. Already, right off this, here we go.
Good evening, I'm Geraldine Tan from Musicals Online, and I have to say, Miss Lea Salonga, I've been your fan since you were a kid, and I saw you in Saigon at CCP, and I just loved you. I was crying the whole time. Amazing. And finally, I get to say it to you. Okay, I have a question because usually you are known for doing wholesome roles, and that question always comes up. I read about it. Is this deviation from that image, that choice of roles, is that intentional, and do you think it will affect your popularity with people who are used to seeing you in wholesome roles? What is this a strategy?
Here's the thing. I mean, there's a lot of roles that are written for theater that are not nice people, and I mean these two here, our faces are so prominent. We're not nice folks, and I'm finding it extremely liberating and interesting and fun. Playing a villain, playing somebody that's not so nice, and I'm finding myself having far more input and ideas about what if she does this, and some of the stuff that I think of are demented and dirty and nasty, and I'm like, I guess I really have that aspect of that personality is actually in me as in any human being. And the thing about being an actor is that you should be open to playing both the good and the bad. And so the expectation, I mean, even in opera, I'm sure it's the same, and same with the films, that you can't always play the nice guy. I mean, I'm very nice when I do concerts, I'm very nice when I'm a coach on The Voice, and I'd like to think that audiences are intelligent enough to be able to separate who I am in life from who I am on stage as a character in a show. And you see naman what the real personalities are when we're doing curtain calls, because we're smiling and we're back to ourselves. So I don't think fans will necessarily all of a sudden turn on me and say, ay, ayoko na sa kanya kasi she's playing a bad guy. It's like, some of the nicest people play bad guys, and some of the not nicest people play good guys. So it's something to think about. But I'd like to think, I don't want to insult my fans' intelligence by saying that they will stop patronizing me and my work, wholesome or not, because I get to play a villain in one show.
Because I noticed before, because I guess the theater audiences might be more intelligent, sophisticated. I hope I don't become an issue about this. Because like sometimes there are actors who play villains, and when they meet their fans, the people hate them because they think they're really like that in real life.
Well, that's how good they are as actors then, because they are so convincing in their portrayals that fans don't know what the reality actually is. But I think people who go see movies, who go see theater, who just go patronize any of the performing arts on a regular basis should know, that's not reality.
I just had to say last, when you were performing, even before you sang, your characterization, just furtive glance you did, and like, she already established the character. I'm sorry, I'm such a big fan. Brava, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, over here.
Hi everyone. Hi. I just want to say this is like my favorite musical. Even before the Johnny Depp film, I was actually watching some videos of it. My first question, because I've noticed it's not done in the usual British accent. So
Actually, we are.
You are doing it.
Yes, we are.
Not just a strong British accent.
It's just not that strong right now when we sing. I mean, sometimes when you sing, the accent kind of gets diluted because we need to spit out a lot of consonants, but I am heavy Cockney when I'm in this show.
I'm looking forward to that. So, I guess my question now is, if you got to play another character, I mean, doesn't matter if it's male or female, you get me? Who would be that character in Sweeney Todd and why? If you get to play any other character. Yes.
Oh, for me, I love to play Sweeney. Kay Jett, okay lang ba?
In 4 years. 4 years.
4 years. Yeah, Sweeney, because I just love his songs, most especially. I'm just obsessed with the songs of Sweeney and the character itself. Parang napaka-sarap laruin ng character because napaka-meaty and there's just so much to him. Alam mo yun? But number one reason why I want to play him is the songs. Yeah.
I would like to play the Beetle, actually. Because he's so deliciously evil. Especially the way that Armand plays it. You will enjoy that. But yeah, I'd really love to play the Beetle because it shows such range of voice, which of course Armand does wonderfully. And it's just really fun to be the bad guy. I love playing bad guys. Unfortunately, I'm not playing the bad guy here. But yeah, the Beetle would be really fun to play.
Well, I'd like to play Tobias, but I think I'm a little too old. So my next choice would be Judge Turpin, perhaps.
That's why you hate me, huh?
That's why we need each other.
I would like to play Pirelli. Yeah. Actually, you know what? There are some productions of Sweeney where they've had like maybe a cast of 8 people. So Pirelli and the Beggar Woman double. So that I would like to do that track because it's cool and it's a challenge to play 2 different characters. But I would like to play that track. The combination of Beggar Woman and Pirelli. And especially the way Nyoy plays Pirelli, it's like, dang, I want to do this. Because he just makes it look like such a fun time when he's doing it.
Joanne, I can show my high notes. No, actually, when we started rehearsing this, we get to know each other's character and and really see the journey of the character. And for me, if I would have an opportunity, I would do the Beggar Woman, right? I would play the role of the Beggar Woman. Although I don't know if we were auditioned at the same time, if I'll win over her, because she does it so well. But I love the journey of the character. You'll see it in the show, I will not give anything away, but this woman is really formidable. And the singing, and it's just beautifully written and difficultly written. I mean, everything is difficultly written in this show. So for me, I think the Beggar Woman would be a challenge if I would play the Beggar Woman with this voice. Oh no.
I was gonna say, I would love to play Pirelli as well. But I'm thinking, actually, Mrs. Lovett is really hard to do. And the way Miss Lea Salonga does it, of course, I'm like, Pirelli na. Kasi it's really hard. Because I was always watching her every scene. And I'm like, siguro mga 20 years pa from now, I can do this. So, Pirelli.
Siguro based on my track record, tsaka of course personal choice na din, I'd still play the comic relief kasi I think nandun yung comfort zone ko in performing. So, I guess Adolfo Pirelli, King of the Barbers, Barber of Kings, Sabalyon. Good day.
Last question for Nyoy and because you're both playing Barber, so did you practice being a barber, or did you like have contest cutting hair to prepare for the music? Yeah.
Can I just say, sorry, my husband, he is very good at shaving his own face. So, that's all him. So I guess that's your practice.
I guess, but it's more than just shaving since sa theater, syempre kailangan you have to flare it up a bit. So, more than the shaving, I think you have to learn all the other mga exhibition. Anyway, you'll see it there. And so you have to watch it kasi meron kaming like different techniques that goes beyond the shaving.
We have a shave off.
La 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 la.
We have a shave off. Well, I did some research on how to use a straight razor on YouTube. There are many ways to hold it actually. You can look at it yourself, and it's very interesting. There are actually shops, well, in the States and in Europe, they sort of still provide that classic service of using a straight razor because it's coming back. It's a hipster. I don't want to call it hipster, but it's like a classic, way of experiencing. Yes, so very interesting, very interesting. It kind of throws you back to that age also. When you do research, it throws you from one aspect to another. Like when I was doing the straight razor research, it throws me back to the Victorian era and the Industrial Revolution, that sort of thing. So.
And then just holding it feels kind of cool, di ba? I mean,
we're
very fortunate.
It's like you're holding a weapon, really.
Oh, iba eh.
It's not like now, the Gillette MacDos and all, they're appliances, right? But the straight razor is really like you're holding, a formidable
There's a certain,
weapon.
parang art.
Certain danger to it. And if you don't do it right, you can really, you can hurt somebody, including yourself. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. I believe we
veterans. You've played so many roles. What makes this particular play and your role in this play exciting?
For me, yung pinaka-exciting is yung just tackling a Stephen Sondheim musical alone was very exciting for me kasi it's my first time doing a Sondheim musical, and yung challenge to do yung music nito sobrang challenging, and then of course working with them with these people. Yes, of course. And Jowa, you're included. Ayun, so yeah, that's the most exciting part for me.
Yeah, I have to second that. The music is such a challenge, and I think a lot of us really like a good challenge. So to learn the music in, how many days do we have? 4? 4-ish, 5-ish?
5-ish, siguro, 5.
5-ish. Altogether, yes. About 5 days together to be able to learn the music. That was a fun challenge, and I think we did really, really well. So the whole Sondheim challenge, and then on top of that, being able to play on that stage with this incredible cast, you can't get any better than that. Oh, not to mention it's the 20th anniversary of Atlantis. Yeah.
So. I've worked with Atlantis for 17 years, I think. Yeah, more or less 17 years. Since 2002, I've been doing productions with Atlantis. Fortunate enough to be cast by Bobby and all that, but nothing prepared me for Sweeney Todd, really. 2 words, really: Stephen Sondheim. I almost hate the guy.
Almost lang.
Yeah, but he's a genius, no doubt, and to put his music into our bodies and tell the story at the same time with a very new way of telling the story was indeed a challenge for me. And I guess for most of us, except Lea, because she didn't do anything. No, but really, Lea is very inspiring to work with. If it weren't for Lea, I think our work would be a little bit harder. But she's there, and we know who she is. She knows who she is, but she's there to make sure everybody does good. Of course, there's Bobby Garcia to do that for us, our director, always. But with the added input of Lea, counting for us, things like that. Make sure I remember my lyrics and all that. It really helped because this musical is not easy. For anyone who's done this before, of course, I'd like to segue to a previous Sweeney Todd, Mr. Olivier-winning himself. Who's done this, about 10 years ago, sir? Yeah, and I saw that show, and when I saw that show in Greenbelt, I saw how difficult it was. He starred opposite, of course, the man, Chulo Cheng, another theater veteran, and I said to myself, I'll never do this thing,
Thank you.
and here I am. So, and I respect the material so much that my body really hurts. You know, so yeah, nothing prepared me for this, and it's a wonderful experience.
Okay, what was the question again? I think it all just kind of. I think the thing that was, this is not my first Sondheim show, it's my second. The first one was Into the Woods. And I had the best time doing that. But I think this might be one of my favorite Sondheim musicals, if not my absolute favorite. And there's an examination of just how far people can be pushed under certain circumstances. That's one exciting part of it. I mean, it's set in the Industrial Revolution where a pie shop like Mrs. Lovett's would be pushed out by the bigger, you know how the small bodegas, for example, in New York are being taken over by overtaken by the bigger stores, and people seem to be heading to those rather than the smaller shops. So there is that. There is desperation in this era, and the things that they do to survive and how they're able to justify those things. It's like being able to kind of step into the shoes of someone and try to empathize with even the most evil, murderous human beings that we get to play. It kind of lends you insight and kind of makes you think, well, life isn't all that black and white after all. Yes, the music is challenging. Yes, the music is difficult. And I've often headed home and just found myself like sitting down once I get home, just staring into space. My brain just, it's like it's going nonstop and trying to process all of the information. The nice thing is, after a while and everything kind of works its way into your body, and all of a sudden everything makes so much sense and everything clicks together, and you see how all of the pieces fit within the musical. And then you go, and it's so fulfilling and gratifying once you see how everything comes together and how everything fits together. It's exciting being in the show with these titans, whether they're brand new in this show, in the industry, or have been around forever, like Jett Pangan. Subtext, he's old. It's exciting being, singing and trying to figure out how to harmonize with his very unique voice. It's a very unique instrument that he has, and it's like nobody has this, and so it's a challenge for me to try to sound like it makes sense with him. It's wonderful getting to just sit to the side and watch Gerald as he puts pieces together, to watch Andrew, because that voice can make the floor vibrate. It's like just watching Nyoy, for example, he'll do something today. Bobby will say, can you please do this for tomorrow? And then watching the next day, seeing what he does and how he processes stuff. It's like my jaw hits the ground, and I'm like, this guy's a genius, And then Ima Castro and I have been together in Miss Saigon here in Manila, and to see her play this, it's like, this is one of the most heartbreaking portrayals of this role I've ever seen, if not the most heartbreaking portrayal of this. It's like she takes a dagger and stabs you in the heart, and then just keeps turning it and turning it. That's the effect that she has. And so this is even in the ensemble, it is a powerhouse cast of people and wonderful human beings with great senses of humor. We laugh every single day at lunch. Even upstairs in the waiting room, people are laughing. So it's a wonderful company to be in. So the challenge, as difficult as it is, you feel like the burden is shared amongst everybody, and that everybody kind of helps you carry what you have to. And it's a wonderful, wonderful feeling to be around a company of actors like that.
Well, for me, the excitement is very personal because I come from the opera world. And so, although I periodically visit the musical theater as an actor, the last time Manila saw me as an actor in the musical theater was in 1993, 94, yes. Once on this island, and it has been opera since then, right? And so, although I really love musical theater, in opera, your singing comes first. If a stage business gets in the way of your singing, then you have to stop acting. You have to sing, because opera is about singing. In theater, what's exciting is that sing that note gloriously, but bent over or doing a head spin. And so when I was younger, sure, but now I was so excited because I'm in my very late 40s and I was given an opportunity to do theater again in Manila. So this is exciting for me. It's really, I was very nervous, and then right away with Jett Pangan, Lea Salonga, Castro, I was like, okay, so I was just gonna dazzle them with my operatic voice. And you do. But, and I'm so blessed because Bobby is such an awesome director, and so he works with me all the time. He used to say, oh, your voice is so nice, but you need to do this for your character. And so, I always believe, you learn, you don't stop learning, or you don't stop reaching for what to learn until the last day you decide, okay, I don't want to perform anymore. That's the only time you will say, I don't want to learn anymore, because I don't want to sing anymore, I don't want to perform anymore. There's something new to learn. And so I was acting the second act rehearsal the other day, and I was telling Lea, oh my God, you are art. You're such an art to, I forget that we're enemies in this show, and also with Jett Pangan, I'm so mesmerized each time, and so I learn a lot from them too. So they live and breathe musical theater, and so this is what they do, and so it's very exciting, and so I'm glad to be part of this awesome cast. Everybody in this cast, we're so in love with each other, I think, right? Lovely, no? Diba? So, you But really, so thank
Those
you,
guys,
musical theater world, for welcoming me back in the Manila theater scene. Thank you.
It has to be press-friendly, public-friendly answer. No. I mean, the funny thing of I know. The thing about musicals is that you don't know how they're gonna hit. You mean you see something, for example. What musicals are there are going to be Rodgers and Hammerstein musicals, for example. Carousel is going to be produced, I think, soon or in a year, and it's something that touches on domestic abuse. There are other musicals that touch on racism, and there are others that will, and more than one R&H musical will touch on that. This one, it touches on actually, you know what? Yes, but wait. But the cannibalism is actually not the most horrible part of this. It's not. Yes, you're going to be like, how are these? There's really no spoilers. If you want to know the story, you watch the movie. You'll know exactly what goes on. And it's like, this is, they're actually, they can easily justify what they're doing by saying, we have to survive. It is a difficult time. Goods are expensive. I got to do this. Times is hard. But then there are other themes that are being touched upon, and Andrew actually touched upon it with his character, Judge Turpin, how someone in a position of such great power uses and abuses that power to get what he wants, to achieve an end, and how he uses his power. He sends the Barber away in order to, spoiler alert, rape the Barber's wife, and then adopts the Barber's daughter and wants to marry the Barber's daughter because of his own carnal desires, and the girl is 16 years old. So that is actually a worse theme. The cannibalism, like eating people, not that big of a deal. Cooking people, not that big of a deal either. But it's the stuff that gets to me watching rehearsals is when Turpin is when you see him and his pious self holding a Bible, making the sign of the cross, trying to quell his desire for this woman, but ultimately giving into it, and very explicit in the lyric what he wants her to do. And every time Andrew sings it, as wonderful as a man and brilliant, funny human being that he is, it's like Jett jokes around, like, your favorite song's coming up. Like, I get physically ill listening to it because of what the song talks about. And I know that audiences, once they see it and how it's staged, how the music sounds, and then additionally how Gerard is asking you to sing it pa, it's like, oo, kailangan talagang kadiri ka dito sa character na to. Oo, kadiri, ah! It has to be like that. So, that's how Gerard explained it. So, I think by the end of watching the show, the cannibalism won't even be the thing you'll notice. It will not.
Yeah.
And you will then root for Sweeney. You'll absolutely root for Sweeney.
In line with that also, with Kuya Manzano's question as well, you also question Sweeney. It's like, okay, there's that happened, and then you have Sweeney who reacts to all the misfortunes, that came his way. So there's a relevance question also there. Now, if you were Sweeney, what are you gonna do?
Would you actually take revenge?
Would you take revenge? Would you cross the line? Would you allow yourself from just mere revenge to something more? And we see that in the news a lot. And so I guess it's a 2-for-1 thing as far as relevance is concerned.
Yeah.
Yep.
Guys, it's a very nice show, huh? I promise it's a very nice show.
Because Adolfo is there.
I think also one of the relevance that we can find here is that people nowadays have a very little grasp of consequences, and so that each character here in this musical are not caring about the consequences. They act according to, I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to move.
Never
Impulse.
mind the moral implications.
Exactly, and so we see a lot of that in the world today. That because of one's desire to get what he wants or what she wants, nobody's looking at the consequences. Nobody's like, and then when the consequence happens, like, what? And so that's one relevance I can see that we can relate to this musical.
All right, I think we have